Whew, girl, I never would have thought I would have needed my security blanket for these stinking ass salt wives. But I guess stranger things have happened. So this is real, the real house. My God, what is wrong with me? The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, bitch. This is season 2, episode 17. Who's calling who a fraud? Dear Lord God Almighty, y'all gave my poor little Meredith the blues. Y'all really did. Y'all gave my poor little Meredith the blues. And don't get me wrong. Why I was down with some of the questions, especially the ones that Whitney was giving. It was just like, I mean, Jesus Christ. Lord have mercy. Anyway, girl, we gonna get down to it. Because I was down with some of their damn questions, especially when it came down between Whitney and Meredith. I'm just saying, I was down with the questions. I totally understood why they were asked and where they was coming from. All right. Now, I like Meredith and all that, but I'm not just going to sit here and just act like some of these ladies' feelings ain't fucking valid. That's what the fuck I'm not going to do. But we'll get to it when we get there. So the episode continues with Shawshank making Lisa choose sides. And then a whole blow up ensues that was completely stupid and idiotic and didn't even have to happen because it went nowhere. Shawshank feels like Mary and Meredith was the ones who tipped off the feds to come down to my friend place of business and or whatnot. And then y'all did all of that just for Lisa to come back right around and console Jen. I'm going to tell you something. First of all, Jen was drunk as hell. But when you are facing the type of things that her ass is facing, I mean, I get how it could turn your ass into a lush. Let's be clear. Jen was completely drunk. But let's not sit here and act like the sober Jen doesn't do the same thing because she does. But even though I don't see it for Shawshank, and y'all know that, I totally understood her feelings when it came down to Lisa. I did. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I'm going through something, if your best friend feels like everything that these people are saying about me is true, moreover, you're hearing all of this about me, and that is supposed to be your best friend. I get it. It will make a person make you be like, well, what the hell is you around me for? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a point of can't nobody tell me who I can or can't be friends with. But I just honestly felt like if I was Lisa and Meredith was my best friend and Shawshank was running around here liking homophobic tweets about Miss Prakisha and who ain't no innocent angel by any means necessary. All right? Because what I didn't like was how everybody was trying to make it seem as if Miss Prakisha was some teenage little girl out here that was being picked on. No, he was an overgrown, rusty ass 21 something who should have had his ass in college instead of having his ass up here on these cameras, getting more camera time and confessionals than his damn mammy. So even though I don't see it for Shawshank like that, I'm not going to sit here and try to make Miss Prakisha out to be some poor, timid little whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you sitting here talking about some people was threatening your family. We'll get to that in a minute. Mm-hmm. But getting back to Lisa, y'all, with all of that having been said, I totally understood where Shawshank was coming from in that because I wouldn't want to fool with I wouldn't fool with her. You saying there like a homophobic tweets about a person's my best friend, a 10-year son. I wouldn't fool with her, but whatever, listen, she says she from New York, girl. And I live up here. Did y'all punk bitches up here like this in New York? Girl, anyway, thank God I stayed in my damn self. So Lisa and Jeannie calls her husband John to tell him what happened on the bus. And then Heather Whitney feels like Shawshank is just drunk because she's been drinking all day and she was drunk as hell. It's written all over her face. She didn't have to say a word. You don't need to get drunk like that, Jen, because listen, your face was literally melted. All right, your face was literally melting, busting apart, falling apart at the seams, girl. I could see the stitches and the scissors coming all up out the joint. Like, you don't need to be doing all of this drinking, and then you got this impending thing, but your ass is gonna go down for, and all of the rest of that stuff. It's just a lot. And I'm gonna tell you something else, Jen. You sitting there, your whole thing to these ladies is my family, my kids, what I'm going through. My family, my kids, what I'm going through. You don't think them people went through something with their family and their kids and what they going through when you was running around here overcharging these people for services that they had no idea that they was getting, and you was doing this? Millions, Jen, millions. Like, you keep putting it off on these ladies. They're not the ones that told you to do that. You are the reason why you're going through what you're going through. You are the reason why you could go away and not being able to see your kids. You are the reason for that, Jen. Don't drill that into these ladies. That ain't got shit to do with them. They earned their money the right way, the honest way. Like, I don't like all of this. Your kids, what I'm going through, bitch. Fuck what you going through. We care about what these victims had to go through. Yeah, I saw the Hulu special. I just felt no need to review it. Them folks say lied on your ass, Jen. Like, I can't stand when people do that. What about me? What about my kids? Bitch, what about them? You weren't thinking about them when you did what you did, ho. So don't sit up here and cry your kids, your family now. And then want to put it off on these women like they supposed to understand. No, they don't understand bitches like you and Mary. All right? They don't understand y'all. I don't even know why Meredith wants to be fooled up with Mary. We gonna get to that too. But listen, I was on Fred's side. Fred said, well, listen, they could be up here with Jen. Speaking of Meredith and Mary, they could be up here with Jim. She the reason why they drinking all the time. She the reason why it's a whole bunch of issues and blah, blah, blah. Let them deal with her. I was on her side. So the girls chilling pool side, and Jenny ain't going to swim because her ass scared. Dear God Almighty. So Meredith and Mary comes. I'm going to be real with y'all. This fake, phony ass, listen, this shit screams Portia and Phaedra. It screams Portia and Phaedra. It does. And like I say, I just feel like if Meredith is really this great of judge of character, she wouldn't be running around here chilling with Mary as hard as she is and standing up for Mary as hard as she is. Like, you're saying Jen is such a horrible person and Jen is such a criminal. What the hell is your bosom buddy? What she's doing is very criminal, on a criminal and in a moral level too, because she went around here playing with God and playing with God folk, making these people feel like she's God, making these people worship her over God. So much so these people is mortgaging houses and for this hoe to fix her face or to fix them broke down armpits of hers. Child. Moving on. I'm moving off topic. So Heather and Whitney tells them about the fight that happened over Lisa and Shawshank, and they said it was over Lisa, still being Meredith's friend and all that stuff. It was a mess. And then Mary gaslighting the shit, making it all about her, talking about something it scared her. Girl, what you scared of? What you scared of? You ain't scared to make people you ain't scared to make your people praise you like you God. So don't be scared of no little fight, child. It had nothing to do with you. The fuck you scared for? Moving on. So Whitney's spiritual healing. I thought the spiritual healing was great. For the scene. I thought it was great. I was down with what you had on, Whitney. You looked real good in your white. It was real cute. When it came down to Mary not wanting to do it, one side of me is like, you know what? I kind of get it because I grew up Christian. You know what I'm saying? And now in my church, it talks about, other religions is how you shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. I don't feel like what she was doing would have sent Mary or anybody else around there to hell. I don't. What that woman, shamans deal with earth. They deal with earth, they deal with herbs, they deal with spices. They're not conjuring up things necessarily. It isn't anything like that. Like like me being Christian, I would have done it. And I wouldn't have felt no type of way about it, nor would I have felt like I compromised my religion. Moreover, would I have felt like if I died right now, I'd have went to hell simply because I put some oil on myself and, you know what I'm saying, release my stuff out there to whatever God that I believe in. You know what I'm saying? It's not a particular God. It's whatever your personal God that you believe in, that's who you release whatever that situation to. It wouldn't have hurt Mary. And that's why I say Mary just doesn't fit in. Mary doesn't fit in. Mary don't fit in. She doesn't want to fit in. She doesn't. And I was on Whitney's side for feeling slighted because much like Whitney said, I didn't believe in your religion, but I still went to your church. I still clapped my hands. I still stood up. I still participated. I allowed you to lay your ungodly ass hands on my daddy. That's probably why he went off the damn deep end and we ain't heard from him or that souffle no more. Since going to your damn church. And it's just like, it wouldn't have killed you, Mary. Like, that's my thing. It wouldn't have killed you. You were there. Everybody else was there. You're a part of the damn show. You need to be there participating, not just having your face seen. You should be participating like every fucking body else there. Well, none of them shamans. They were still out there wanting to participate. Whatever. So they get down to the damn dinner, and then Whitney gets this long, drawn out, overdone ass toast. Whitney, you so petty. Lord, Whitney, you petty. It was funny, but you petty. So Whitney asks Meredith and Mary why they didn't ride on the bus with them. So Meredith throws back at her at how they decided to leave on a separate plane after their last trip. So don't annoy her and don't make her upset because she doesn't have to tell y'all why she doesn't decide to do this or why she don't decide to do that. Listen. Meredith, I'm on your side, but you not being real either, and that's my problem with you. Just say you don't fool with Shawshank, and you knew she was going to be on the bus, ergo, you won't going to do it. And I wish you would have just said, and me and Lisa don't rock like that. We're not seeing eye to eye, and I don't feel like dealing with that either. Ergo, you didn't see me on the bus. Now, why Mary decided not to ride on the bus with y'all, that's her issue. But with me, I have issues with two people that is on the bus, and I just don't want to be sitting for 7 hours and dealing with all of that energy. I wish you would have just said that. I mean, I wouldn't have made a big deal about you not being on the bus because at least you showed up on the catch trip. That's what mattered. You showed up on the catch trip. How you got there, I don't give a shit. As long as you showed up and you was there and you was being participating in what everybody had going on. I don't care how you got there. But I will say this though, Meredith, you can't compare apples to oranges. At the end of the day, actually, you really can. Because, and I love y'all, but Heather and Whitney, y'all left because y'all didn't want to deal with that bad energy that y'all was getting from Lisa's backpedaling, the coochie popping in the handstand, and Mary gaslighting behavior and gaslighting ways and all of that. Y'all didn't want to be around that negative energy, so y'all decided to travel on another plane back home. Ergo, they decided they didn't want to deal with the negative energy from y'all, and they decided to show up on separate transports. I mean, as much as I don't see it for Mary, I'm only taking up for her because it got to do with Meredith. Okay? I'm only taking up for Mary because it got to do with Meredith. All right? So while I understood where you was coming from, friend, I totally understood where Meredith was coming from, and she shut you down right good. But don't worry, because you got her ass back. So Mary doesn't apologize for not showing up on the bus and all of that stuff. But when does Mary apologize and really fucking mean it? Never. So then Shawshank decides to interject and says that Mary is just being honest, while Meredith is just saying what everybody else wants to hear. And again, look, y'all know I don't see it for Shawshank. But that's basically the same thing I said. I really wish that Meredith just would have said, listen, y'all are, I already told y'all I don't want to be around Shawshank, and I really don't want to be around Lisa. So I decided not to sit on the bus with y'all for 7 hours. I really wish you would have just said that. So Meredith admits that she does have a problem with the group constantly asking her questions and grilling her and wants to attack her for no reason. And Meredith, this is where I'm kind of teeter-tottering with you, because I hear it. But at the same time, you're also sitting and caping and siding with someone who has just as much salaciousness going on in her life personally as Jen does. So it's just like, I mean, for me, it's kind of like, you left one dump site to go to the next. Like, that's really what I felt like. I'm just gonna be real. That's why I say we're not going to act like these ladies' feelings ain't valid when it comes to questioning this little alliance or allegiance that you got with Mary. But you're sitting around here condemning Shawshank. I mean, I'm just saying. So Jenny felt like she was mad at her for inviting Shawshank down to her faux event, and she says that she was just surprised considering that she called her a criminal, which was the most aggressive statement anybody made. And I said, Meredith, bitch, you messy girl. Lord, Meredith, you messy. Lord have mercy, Jesus, Meredith, you messy as hell, girl. Jenny, I'm gonna be real. The sky's blue, and you're not about to sit here and try to ever convince me that it is anything but. No matter how you said it, you basically implied that Jen was a criminal. Let's be honest. All right? Because basically what you're saying is now she's not a criminal, but I ain't gonna call her one. But once she made out to be one, then I'm gonna call her one. And it's just like, nah, Jenny. Nah, it's either you believe it or you don't. And if you're gonna stand by what we don't know, the word criminal should have never came out your mouth. What you should have said was, I don't know her. I don't know nothing about this. So I'm just staying out of it. That's what you say. Don't drop buzzwords and trigger words to make people feel like what you're implying. And you know what I'm saying? And that really ain't what you meant. But see, that's why I said the best thing to do is shut the fuck up. And if you gon' talk, say, I don't know nothing about this woman or this case. So I got that. They ain't none of my business. That clears you from everything. I mean, I'm just saying. But Meredith, you messy girl. Lord, Meredith, that was messy. That was messy, Meredith. I was for it. So then Whitney tells Meredith how Shawshank's been nasty to her. And she says that Mary has been nasty to me. And she's still choosing to stand beside Mary. So she says that Mary has been nothing but kind to her. And when nobody else was there for her, she was. And then that's when Lisa says that she was there for her. But Meredith says that she also made choices that she knew would hurt her. Talking about her alliance, that fake, phony alliance that Lisa got with Shawshank. Meredith, what I'm still trying to figure out, what did Mary do that nobody else did for you that makes you put her on this type of pedestal? Because with everybody else, she's a stone cold bitch. Like, looking at the way that she treats Whitney, when Whitney honestly don't deserve none of this shit that Mary is giving her. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, girl, just because she read off a funky ass, already scripted written prayer, okay, with some damn extra virgin olive oil that she said the Lord's Prayer over and slapped it on your head. I mean, is that all she did for you? And now she's just your end all be all. She's just your, like, I'm just trying to, because normally when people say all that they've done for her, they'll normally list things that they've done. I've yet to hear you say what the fuck Mary all did for you to make you cake for her like that. That's just me. That's just me. That's why I said we're not going to act like all of these ladies are crazy and how they feel. Don't get me wrong. Lisa is a piece of shit too. And you called out why Lisa was a piece of shit because you decided to stay and befriend this bitch that allowed her people to steal from me. She liked and retweeted homophobic tweets about my son. And she's running around here dealing, overcharging prices and doing all of this fraud shit with these elderly people in their bank accounts. You know what I'm saying? So I'm totally, but then again, Meredith, it's funny how all roads lead back to Mary, right? Because it's just like at the end of the day, Meredith, yes, Lisa was horrible for that. She was. But look at all of the salaciousness that's going on here with Mary thus far. And you find no problems with still chilling and caping and being around her. You know, so Meredith says, listen, I'm disgusted. And it was just like, Lord have mercy. So then Meredith leaves the table, you know, after she says she's disgusted. And, you know, she starts getting emotional and all of the rest of that stuff. And then they tell Mary to make her go back to the table. So when she does, Whitney and Meredith come to Whitney and Mary comes to a conclusion about where their friendship is. I'm gonna spend 2 minutes on you, friend. You know, I'm really glad that you finally realized that Mary does not desire or wish to have a friendship with you. And the reason why she don't want nothing from you, Whitney, is because you don't have nothing to offer her. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. I don't feel like she views you on the same social class, social level, social elite of Utah that she sees Meredith in. You know what I'm saying? Like, her and Meredith can go out and chill in the high-end places and it makes sense. They're both probably around the same age bracket and both of them look and carry themselves as if they in the same class and tax bracket. You know what I'm saying? With you, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm shading you because I'm not shading you. Y'all know I live for Whitney, but it's just Meredith has things or possesses things that Mary needs that you can't give her. So she's quicker to throw you off to the wolves and say, fuck you and your friendship, bitch. I could care less about you. Quicker than she would somebody like Meredith. You know what I'm saying? Because Meredith looked like she has the potential to kick people out of social circles or anything like that around there to Salt Lake. You know what I'm saying? Versus you not there yet, friend. And it's no shade to you, but you're not there yet, friend. So that's why she's not pressed about having a friendship with you. And I'm glad that you came to the conclusion because I got sick and tired of you begging this bitch for a friendship because that's really all you've done this entire season, Whitney. You sat, cried and everything over Mary not being your friend. And I just did not understand why. You and Heather are meant to be friends. That's your real friend. That's your good Judy. That's your ride or die. That's the person that you know come hell or high water. If you can't call or depend on nobody else, she gonna always be there for you. Mary isn't that. So I'm real glad that you finally came to that conclusion that you're just done. Good. I'm glad. Because you was really wearing me out sitting around here begging this woman for a fucking friendship. Hell, her husband don't want her. Her son don't want her. Like, I mean, God don't want her. Like, it's just like, you know. Moving on. So Shawshank asks Meredith about the private investigator, and then this road leads back to Jenny. Jenny, again, sometimes it's best to just keep your mouth shut when it comes to certain situations. At the end of the day, Jenny, Shawshank didn't need to know nothing about the private investigator, and even if she did, it should have come from somebody else that's directly correlated to this, and not the new girl. Because it's like you came up here with the new girl stunts and now it got turned back on you. And as much as I don't see it for Shawshank, I wasn't mad at her feelings. Because, I mean, you did lay it off like Nobody else there got investigated other than her. And this is what the investigation came of. And this is why Meredith is treating you like this. And so when Meredith said, let's be clear, I had it done with everybody. It won't just you. And then you was like, well, why would I add everybody else in that when it was a conversation between us? Because, Jenny, the way you implied it made it seem as if it was solely for Jen. That's why. If you would have went to Jen and said, well, you know, child, she had a private investigator on all y'all asses, maybe Shawshank would not have took it as personally as she did, because it would not have just been on her. It would have been on everybody. But the way you delivered it made it seem as if, oh yeah, because you know, girl, she don't really fool with you like that, no way, because you know she had a private investigator. I mean, how did you think? I understand you from Vietnam, honey, and maybe that's the way, you know what I'm saying, y'all communicate. But round us, sis, you can't do that, okay? If you're going to carry back a bone, you need to carry back verbatim exactly what was said, who said it, when it was said, where it was said, and all of the like. That's how you carry back bones, so that people can't shoot the messenger, because you didn't add nothing to it and you didn't take nothing from it. You delivered it the way it was delivered to you. You understand? That's where you messed up at, Jenny. And that's why everybody feels like you messy. You know, I want you to clean that up, Jenny, because you was trying to explain yourself, but you really couldn't explain yourself good enough for that. Because I'm sorry, the way that you laid it out for Jen, Jen had no other choice but to take it the way she did. That's damn. Get off of you. Again, Shawshank, again, you're taking your frustrations out on everybody else other than the person that it need to be on, which is yourself. Okay? It's yourself, Jen. You refuse to take any responsibility for anything. And it's just sad. It's sad. Nobody believes you. I don't believe none of them hoes up there believe you. I don't. I don't. I don't. I'm sorry. Not even you, friend. You cannot look me in my face and tell me you definitively believe that Shawshank is innocent of all charges, and you gonna stand by her, and you gonna stand, friend. You know I lay you down, friend. No, I just don't buy it. I don't believe, and I don't buy. None of you all fully believe Jen. What I think it is you already sees that she's a total mess. Y'all have a show to do, so it's just easier to play nice with her and you know, treat her the same way that y'all have been treating her versus trying to ice her out. You know, that's really what I feel. The show is Jen at this point because it's been about Jen. It's been about Jen and Mary. So it's just like, y'all, that's really all I got. I ain't got no more to give y'all, girl, because this shit almost going to 30 minutes. And usually my Saltwise reviews don't usually last this long. But this episode, this episode was a lot. All right, it really was. This episode was a lot. It did a lot to me and my psyche. Off a standpoint of just this is just what happens when people don't be real. This is what happens when people don't be real. This is what happens when people just don't say what they mean and mean what they say. This is what happens when people want the pussyfoot around the situation instead of just laying all the shit out on the table and just letting it be what it said, letting it be where it's at. If everybody would have just been real from the very beginning, maybe none of this would have never happened. I don't know. But y'all drop down in the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about Sunday night's episode. And y'all, I'll let y'all later. Bye.